Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the GG.Bet Invitational. BreakyCPK, joined by DeMoN once again. And we got game number 2, as you can hear in the background. Just getting kicked off here, Espada versus ferzee. And Espada taking the first game terribly, man. But there were some questionable decisions on the part of ferzee, to say the least. So we'll see how they fine-tune that here in game number 2.
Most definitely. I mean, I think ferzee really had that game in the bag. They had all the early game momentum that they could ever ask for, remaining. But like I said, they just played a little sloppy. They stopped doing what they were doing. They forgot what they were doing, like the first 10 minutes of the game, and they were just lane dominant, playing together, and just playing together. Like it was just being. They were a little bit too greedy with their item choices. I think their itemization was wrong. Their perspective on the mid game was wrong as well. And like I said, if they just focus on playing together and just letting that Luna play that catch-up game last game and so forth, yeah, they would have had the game in the bag. But at the end of the day, Espada did also play well as well. They made a good comeback. I guess they're switching things up completely in this game now.
Alliance banned Centaur all 3 games yesterday against ferzee. I noticed that. And that's not your typical ban, obviously. So
Drow Ranger.
Clearly there's something there where Afterlife, their offlane player, plays it very well. We are seeing more Centaurs pop up a little bit, I feel like, when it comes to the meta. The Stampede in general as a reaction tool, of course, is great. But, you know how the hero works. The point is, ferzee confident with it. So, yeah, they're going to pick it up here to go with the Bane.
It's not about the meta picks, man. It's what you pick is comfortable and what's best and most ideal for the team and what we've practiced with, right? Like, OG really demonstrated that. And TI just, cares about the meta, man. Which just focus on playing our own style, what makes us comfortable, what makes us happy, and what's going to ultimately make us play better. We practice this, so let's go with it. Yeah, it's not part of the meta, but we've won with it. We've won with it more than a few times. Or even if we lost, we felt like we played well with it and we're comfortable. And it's just like Bane Centaur is obviously one of the most old school heroes and combos that you have in Dota as well. With the sleep setup into the Centaur combo.
Okay.
And I think Drow is really good because Centaur is a hero that kind of tries to get in your face. But in the laning phase, if you have a good support, you're able to zone out the Centaur completely. But it's just, the matchup is kind of interesting. It's just, I feel it always comes down to the support and who can pressure who more. Whoever has an early advantage. Because if Centaur gets a little bit of extra levels, he farms his fast Vanguard, he's going to max his return aura, then Drow can never do any damage to him. But if Drow gets a good start, faster levels, and the Centaur becomes a little underleveled and farms a late Vanguard, then it's obviously going to be in favor of Drow. So this lane matchup is just, it always comes down to the support and who can pressure who more.
How about the fact they let Espada get a Drow Weaver opening, first off? I mean, that's a strong combo there itself.
Yeah.
And what you're already putting yourself up against even. So.
But the thing is, it's as strong as it is, it's like it comes down to this. This Centaur is so good against these range heroes because, like I said, his return aura, and they don't have any magic right now. It's all physical. Centaur really thrives off of these moments. But it just really comes down to his start. Yeah, I mean, it goes both ways, though. If Centaur has a bad start, then Weaver and Drow will completely dominate the Centaur because of the minus armor and the bugs.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, so...
Honestly, a vengeful support comes to mind right now for Espada. Speaking of enhancing just the overall damage, that minus armor kicking in is still available. We're on ferzee, though, first, so I suppose talking about their third potential pick here, already with the Centaur Bane.
And they're probably going to pick up position 4 here because they don't want to reveal another core, and Espada will react with their support. I don't know what they really need. Because I don't know if they're going to do a Centaur Bane or another Centaur plus 1 melee or something. But you want something that's going to win you the lane because, like I said, this lane matchup matters so much.
Earthshaker's still there?
Yeah, Earthshaker's good, but it's like I said, this way I said, Centaur versus Weaver matchup is interesting. It's a pretty decent pick because it's really good versus Weaver. Snap pick here, Furion.
Even more synergy.
Yeah, I mean, Centaur does well versus Weaver. You could just burst him in 2 combos, and Weaver's gonna right-click him twice and get low enough from the return.
You like the Rubik though? You're mentioning.
I like the Rubik, but then I see a Nature's Prophet.
Okay.
That was a good one. Good, something to kind of deal with the Nature's Prophet.
Good against Weaver.
And the thing I think Rubik, it's because you have a setup for Centaur, so it's gonna be I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Rubik Centaur offlane, just because you can just lift and pull him back into the Centaur, hoof stomp, and have some kill potential, threat potential for this Drow. So you can't play too aggressive. But I feel it goes with Bane too, but you're gonna have to wait until it's level 2.
10 seconds remaining.
So
All right, Espada taking a little more time with this fourth pick, unlike the third one.
They have pretty open picks with Espada still, because I mean, Nature's Prophet can still play this position 4.
Yeah.
Same with Weaver. And Weaver's most likely going to be core.
You have to have some kind of front ladder, though, right? If you're going to run this Drow strat, you don't have to, but it seems like that's a safe way to do it.
If only Ogre was in the pool, that'd be like...
Yeah.
No, Ogre is like too broken right now.
Well, they took care of banning out the Ogre, as you see there.
Yeah. Half the heroes of last game were already banned. Ogre, Phoenix, and Silencer.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Yeah, trying to think of that.
Maybe like an Ember would be pretty good. They need some sort of catch, some sort of disable and stun. It's generally pretty good versus like Necrophos, High Magic. They're very committed to this Drow strat.
Yeah, it's like let's get every hero that really benefits off a Drow, but then it's almost excessive.
Well, it's, I mean, it's weird, I guess, the matchup, because Drow does pretty well versus Necro, because Necro can't really ever get in front of him, right? But then like his Shroud can do pretty well too, because they don't have any real magic. It's all physical here. I mean, I guess Visage, and they lack disables though. That's
yeah. Typical Drow strat, really.
They need someone that can lane well versus Visage mid. Visage with an Drow aura. I'm not really sure when it comes down to matchups.
Like a DK?
I mean,
Dragonblood would be okay, I suppose.
I mean, he would do okay, but the thing is, like, DK feels like a slow hero, right? Like, they're both gonna get level 6, and then like, I feel DK is just gonna be like useless. Like, they're just gonna ignore him in the fights. But then again, I guess his Breath Fire will nullify like their pushes and like all the damage quite a bit. So, yeah.
It will be first. He has the overall final pick. They ban a Tusk. Okay.
I guess this is pretty good. Yeah, it's a save, right? With all like their burst from Necro, Centaur, Bane Grip, and so forth.
I still think Vengeful Spirit. I mean, speaking of a save, she does bring that. She enhances the damage.
Single target, no AoE though. They don't really. That's the problem with Espada. They don't have any AoE.
10 seconds remaining.
Tussus.
Damn it! Just commit to single target.
5 seconds remaining.
All in.
That is all in though. That makes it kind of all in, and it's just how Espada's lineup works. It's just the snowball. Any Drow lineup is always just snowbally, right? You never want to start from behind with that hero. They are committed, man.
That's commitment right there.
I mean, he's kind of AoE, a little bit AoE here.
Yeah.
All good.
That's hilarious. Okay, well.
I don't know what they're gonna do. I mean, I guess Drow Furion lane, Weaver Wind Ranger, Visage mid.
Sure, sounds good. It sounds possible.
I guess. I mean,
yeah,
they're gonna be able to zone. That's the only real way to zone out the Centaur. And like I said, the Centaur is, I think, one of the key factors for ferzee here. Like, he gets his fast Vanguard into Blink, and it's just, what does Espada do? He's gonna Stampede and just like hoof on some bitches.
Vanguard. That's a good way to put it. I like it. No, that's fine. PG-13 stream here. We're
Templar
good.
Assassin.
Templar Assassin is the final pick for ferzee. Okay, so is that kind of that mid matchup against Visage? You think that may work?
That's fine. He has high enough base damage. It's just, it's a skill. I think it's kind of a skill matchup. Visage has Drow Aura. They have both enough damage. It's just like, I think it favors the TA quite a bit because he's able to out CS him pretty hard. And his Side Blades, if he's good with the Side Blades, then Visage will be relatively low for the most part, and he'll be focused on his denies. TA will be, he have an ancient farming hero now, so he's able to accelerate his farm and snowball. And they don't, like, again, I was mentioning as last game with the Treant Protector, this one with Refraction, they don't have any instant bursts for this Refraction. It's just all right clicks.
Yeah.
So that can really pay off in his favor.
I don't think I've seen more of an all-in Drow lineup, honestly. Like, if there was 4 heroes that came to mind that you want to run with the Drow Ranger to take benefit of the aura, these have to be up there on that list.
I mean, like I said, Espada, it's all about snowballing, winning lanes, taking Roche, and taking every tier 1 and tier 2, and then eventually, like, the high ground. And that's what their lineup is all about. But ferzee's lineup, they're good at split pushing, they're good at wave clearing, like, very quickly because of the Necro, TA, you know, and Centaur with the double edge, you know, just shoving these waves in. That's what it's about. And if they see this commitment and they're just pushing into the Drow, it's like they have to do these quickly and be prepared, because any false move or any reaction that if they react too slow, then you're going to lose other tier 2s without any exchange of a tier 1, whatever it may be.
Game 2, best of 3. Espada is the one up 1 game to nothing, so obviously they have that fallback as well, as if this whole all-in of sorts Drow strategy doesn't work, then they got a game 3. Not that you're relying on that, but I suppose trying to really just catch your opponents off guard is another way to look at it. Do them in here. This is one that has potential to end quickly, or it could be a long game. Now, sticking with Drow for a second, we've seen more examples of this too lately, where Drow is known as that early game tempo, sure, but late game Drow is also really frustrating. That 50% cooldown reduction, using precision aura very frequently as a result, and constantly pushing in lanes, that's annoying.
You don't play Drow to play late game in level 25 with Drow. That's the whole idea with him. It's pretty it's not very often, but yeah, of course it is good when you get there, but like I said, it doesn't really come down to Drow getting, because it's like even in team fights, it's like he doesn't really get that much. I feel like he's probably the most underleveled like hero when it comes to being like the core role, because his job is just like hit creeps, farm creeps, take Roshan, take towers, and like most of the time he misses out on all these team fights and loses out on a lot of EXP. And I feel like this Rubik pick, his main job this game, I thought it was good because it was Weaver, but everyone else, it's like he doesn't really have great spells to steal. I mean, he can always steal Silence, I guess, or like potentially Precision Aura. I wonder how that works with Rubik. I think it works, right? I'm pretty sure.
I actually don't know. That's a good point. She uses, I suppose so.
Yeah, but then it's Rubik's agility, so it's pretty ass. But,
Not that good. Maybe familiars would be nice. Now, good luck stealing those, obviously.
I mean, his job is, like I said, it's just like delay their pushes with his Fade Bolt and just kind of like disrupt like their pushes and just push the waves off of the tower. It's not about his spell steal or whatever. And then, of course, all the kill potential on top lane as well, because of the telekinesis. So him playing with the Centaur, he's just setting up and delaying pushes.
Bounty Rune control. It'll be a 2-for-2 split. A little bit of action early, but not the most. Nature's Prophet Misha is playing that support Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, I mean, that was the only way that you play Fury on this game. You have to put him in the safe lane with the Drow and to secure the lane. It's going to be pretty miserable, but then again, Rubik does fairly well versus them because of the Fade Bolt. They're not going to do any damage, and hopefully he doesn't feed these Treants because they give a decent amount of gold now.
Oh, he's already up there with them. Arch is putting in the auto attacks though. And Misha also going the double fairy fire. I know we see he actually has the Blightstone queued out. I was gonna say I know we see that sometimes too, early on, but wants to get that. God, this Afterlife is already taking so much damage though. That's Nature's Prophet for you.
He has extra damage from that Drow Aura.
True.
No, actually he didn't. He has Frost Arrows.
Oh, well, so not yet. That's without it, but that's just a taste of things to come, I suppose. With that.
I feel he probably should have won less Healing Salve and Fairy Fire. No, actually, he wouldn't have enough for Blightstone. Never mind. It's fine. Another Treant spawn is going to be up. Bam!
And more harassment. There's that Fade Bolt you're talking about, so it helps, but is it enough? That's slow, man. It's so strong.
That's the Warriors of the Wood by Espada Misha right there.
One with Nature. Nature kicking his ass right there.
Like I said, they understand this lineup. Like, this game comes down to all about this. Well, it's not all about Centaur, but the big part of it. You don't want to snowball them. You want to snowball the Drow. Drow gets a good start. Centaur doesn't, and they're able to snowball much easier.
Yeah. Hey, talk about the whole Vanguard into Blink. Hell, the upgraded the Crimson Guard after the fact. Talk about a good value item this game against the Drow strategy. So I'm sure that's something that's going to be on his mind too, but obviously a ways away. Nyx, by the way, good counter ward in the middle. Managed to put the sentry and take out the ward that was on the Radiant side.
Getting destroyed though. Like, this TA destroys Visage pretty hard here.
Oh wow, yeah, 11-5 versus 4-3. That's pretty good.
You got that D word though, man. Worth.
Get some extra gold.
Actually, it really wasn't. He got like 4 or 5 hits on him on TA, so I don't know.
Extra regen being the war with the Tango, I suppose.
Kind of balances, I guess.
Misha, where's he teleporting? He's just going back to base, but he's got this cool ability called teleportation, where he can come back in.
Oh man, look at those items. Double Wraith Band going to be picked up by Drow as well. He's going to be so strong. He's going to get his level 3 here soon as well. He's going to be full mana. He's going to make some... Oh, should have made. He still gets a regen.
Oh, jeez.
I think he shift queued that. That's why.
Yeah, we see these Drow sometimes get even 3-4 Wraith Bands I've seen before. Just really stack those stats early.
Yeah, you just want to win this lane really hard, and that's what he's doing right now. He's missing creeps under the tower, though. Must be lagging or something.
Of course, yes. That's always an excuse. Alpha Ninja, though, 16-9 here in the middle lane. 6-4 Visage. That's a bottom lane kill. Meanwhile, Immersion goes down. Vansker right up for the kill on Bane. Looks like Bane Necrophos able to find a kill themselves. Somehow win Ranger, so good job.
I mean, Necro is just so strong. Like, they don't have any real kill potential on this guy because of the death pulse. He'll always be having really high regen. They can't really out-harass him in that sense. Oh, he's suiciding advanced score here.
Is he? Okay. Yeah, this is an interesting strategy, you know, the idea that you resurrect very quickly.
Yeah, you're not really forfeiting too much gold, and it's more beneficial that way because you're actually, like, worthless in the lane. Oh, look at the
top lane. They got on top of Drow. But now you want to be careful not to overcommit to it. The Fade Bolt will finish it out. Where a level 2 Fade Bolt does in Drow. Obviously kind of catching that halfway through, but they somehow got on top of her.
Yeah, big kill there, actually. They were waiting for their 3. Their moment to shine was then.
The lift, I'm sure, involved to put her in that bad position.
You know what? I need another Wraith Band. I think Raindrop would have been more ideal. I don't think he can die with Raindrop.
Oh, interesting, yeah.
Rather than Wraith Band, but Wraith Band helps the team as a whole. We could Visage, like this game's all about this TA here. Look at that.
Middle. Speaking of that, Misha's like, hi, but Refraction again, doing pretty well.
DD. Oh, he's
Alpha
dead.
Ninja's like, yeah, hi, what's up? One more attack, he is dead.
He's trapped.
Yeah, going into a double damage TA. I don't know if that was the best idea. He's not going to get a turn kill or anything like that. I mean, that'll be it. But speaking of, we saw last game, you know, with the Bane kind of just feeding kills early on, it felt like, to the mid lane. This time, Appenine just getting there. I guess that was Misha last game, to be fair, on the Bane. So something about him going mid, thinking he can make a play, and gives up a kill. Hey, it worked out in the end, I suppose.
Yeah. False hope. Oh, free kill here.
All right, now this is better. One more. No, the Fairy Fire. And Bane is also here. So TA is fine, and now Misha once again in a little bit of trouble. Getting away, and the back lines, King R rotates in. And Visage falls. So what is up with all these rotations all of a sudden in the middle? Holy crap.
Yeah, this is a really hard matchup for Visage here. TA just completely wrecks him. Who cares about the Drow Aura, you know? This TA has way too much base damage, and Visage attacks, like, its attack speed is just way too slow for, or attack animation is way too slow for TA.
Is this a Deso or a Blink Dagger first game?
I mean Deso, because I think Blink, you're not really going to find way too many kills here, and I think with just Deso, you're able to just farm the map, pushing the lanes much quicker, you know, and potentially even snag the Roshan away from Espada as well.
Yeah.
Did Drow just die again?
The Drow did just die again. Yeah, the lift into the Centaur Stomp. That's proven to be an issue somehow for the Drow Ranger. I say somehow.
They're going to go on this. Oh, miscommunication.
Close.
They can kill him.
Here at the top, you see that return aura kind of kicking in for TW every now and then.
Might just want to shrine, probably farm the newts, get his Vanguard. He's only 200 gold away. Guess they were dominating the lane, but once they got their levels...
Here we go again. This is what they've been doing. The Sprout trying to save. He has that double edge. Didn't want to use it there, though. It won't matter in the end as he does go down and responds. But they kill the Drow first, and again, if you're this rating. Now, that's quite a bit of gold given up to Nature's Prophet, to be fair. 446, but still.
They don't care.
Yeah.
I think he just needs... His Raindrop is pretty game-changing, but it's just me. I mean, he might die anyway, to be honest. There's so much burst on top of him.
Yeah. Yeah, that was without double edge even, which is obviously tons of damage itself. Yeah, this middle lane, though, this is absolutely a free game for Templar Assassin, and when you say that, it's not good for the other team.
Is under attack.
Bottom lane, that Swarm is up, gonna try to kill Doxock now, gets the Swarm off at the last second, and the nice use of the wand, didn't even Ghost Shot for it. Still enough of a heal to stay alive.
He wanted to Ghost Shot, but he didn't have mana for it to use it with the magic one, unfortunately.
Either way, He survives. That's what matters. Weaver, I don't know what this plan is. I mean, okay, I guess diving into Necrophos, but how often have we seen that only backfire? So they're trying. He's got another Death Pulse ready to go. Yeah, BZZ living life on the edge a little bit. It's just not going to work.
TA is actually starting to be pressured now because of the summons being up. So his laning is this lane changes now completely. Yeah.
Hello. Me's just like, hey, it's my time again. Familiar's coming over though. Affidage, yeah, they want to come. There's a Stampede. It's going to save him. Yeah, that was actually a dangerous spot, you're right, but the Stampede, of course, kicking in.
Actually, probably would have died there.
Oh, the trap slow. It's not
yeah, but this lane changes quite a bit now that Visage is 6 because TA doesn't get all that freedom anymore. He's able to slow him and instantly remove all of the refraction charges, and if he commits, he has a stone form just in case. So
Dire's middle tower is
see how
under
much
attack.
it changes. He's, wow, 62 CS compared to this 27, 23 denies as well. He almost has more denies than Visage CS.
That's one way to look at it when you know just absolutely dominating. Yeah, triple the CS nearly as well, or also double and a half. Anyways, point is doing a lot at that middle lane. What do you think about Drow, by the way? Kind of a minor thing, I suppose, but going a 2-1-2 build over the 1-1-3, perhaps.
That's fine. I know like every Drow players are different, but he understands like this. He needed to pressure and win the lane harder, so that's why he opted at level 3 for double or for level 2 Frost Arrows.
Okay.
And
So
it
he
wasn't
did get
gonna.
that
He
three.
probably
Yeah.
understands like it's like yeah, my team might benefit from like +3, +4 extra damage, but this Frost Arrow, like this extra 16% slow, is gonna be more game changing for me, and it did help. But Furion, they saw Furion rotated, and Drow was just a little bit out of position. He's able to kill him, you know.
Yeah.
He hurt his game quite a bit because of it. He just needed to play a little bit safer. All this TP's bot. No. Okay.
Well, that was Necro TP'd out. It's thinking about it, but Necro TP'd out, and so he's fine. He can pause the game on top of that.
Big stack here by ferzee on the big camp as well. He's farming a triple quad stack here, so it's going to be snowballing the Centaur. He's getting more armor. I guess he's going to opt for this Crimson Guard here.
Yeah, I mentioned that this game, it feels really good. Obviously, you get the Drow Strat in general, the Crimson Guard. It's going to make you feel nearly unkillable, especially for the Centaur in his case. Also maxing out the Hoof Stomper, so the maximum stun duration, the extra damage from that. You know, we see maybe a lot of the double edge coming out for that heavy burst, but
Joe realizes he also abandoned that top lane too, like, you know, screw this lane.
what's the point, yeah.
Same with them, so they're just both abandoning their safe lanes and they're going to be trading off towers here, so all the plays are going to be mid now.
Top tower is under attack.
Middle lane is a little bit of back and forth. Rubik, did he steal there? He stole the Familiars. Oh no, see that was the one thing. I was like, I mean, maybe that, but good luck getting it. But Nyx in front of Rubik.
Did one job.
Summons the Familiars. Whoopsie.
Oh, he's going to die from his own.
Oh no, that's insult to injury right there. Dies to his own Familiars as mentioned. Fiend's going to lock down a Weaver as well as he comes in. And BZZ is it's just getting worse. King R steals the Shikuchi on top of that. And they help to burst down the Wind Ranger. That's just a double kill for the Rubik. Everyone's in a live Ansker. Okay, the Familiar stuns will finish him off at least, but
That was a good micro there, because Centaur was trying to stop him, but oh man, that was actually really good micro.
back and forth. When you're dead, it's a little easier to.
But at what cost? Because he
for
just
that
lost both of his Familiars for it.
Radiant's bottom tower
Going for this,
is
like,
under
I guess he
attack.
realizes, TA realizes, like,
Radiant's
this lane
bottom
is like,
tower has fallen.
we're winning all of our lanes really hard. Let's just further keep the pressure on them, and instead of sitting back and farming, which is what their issue was last game, he's going for this Blink Dagger to continue this pressure.
Are scanning.
He doesn't want to, like, because if he gets Deso, he's not able to pressure as freely, and with his Blink Dagger, he has more freedom to play aggressively because, like I said, they don't have any instant burst to remove these refraction charges, so he's able to play in their face and just be able to escape almost at all times.
Yeah. Don't really see any stacks for the TA just yet. He does have a trap here on this one. I don't know if he's going to stack it himself or not, but
With how his lane was going, I mean, he could have stacked with his traps himself earlier, but with how his lane was going, there's just no need. Like, he was just completely dominating. You can see almost 100 CS, 12 minutes, and this Visage only at 45 here. Level 11, almost 12 on TA. Barely level 9 on Visage here.
King R. That was some fun plays, B-Man. He had Shikuchi from before. He was making it take forever. 3 heroes coming together. Meanwhile, LTW goes down to the bottom lane to Affininge here on Templar Assassin. So talk about something you don't want to have happen if you're Espada. But yeah, then he stole Wind Run and also managed to survive a little bit longer as he was waiting for Shikuchi to come back up. So hell of a play. King R, he's proven to be a bit of an issue for Espada on the Rubik. At 3,000 net worth lead, also looking pretty strong for ferzee. At this point in the game, you see some middle pressure being brought by Espada. Obviously with that aura of Drow Ranger, they ideally are able to take down objectives quickly.
Let's use the Drow aura now too.
Bane. Familiar stun 1. There's number 2. And Mansker is dead. So good micro from Nyx once again. And Affininge is here. Rubik with the lift. Shikuchi around in the backlands from BZZ. Faithful turn. Necrophos also in the midst of it. Has Reaper Scythe good to go. We're going to see that come into play onto Visage. He's dead for 47 seconds. So they defend mid. And they get a hero kill out of it.
Should have just been happy with that. They had a free tower. For some reason, they passed that tier 1 because they got this simple Bane kill, but like not respecting this potential Centaur blink here. Yeah, he just picked it up there, but like they don't need to overextend like that.
Centaur's had free farm too, really, so you almost have to suspect it's coming soon, right? So they're doing Roshan again. No Deso for Affininge. They don't really have the most enhanced damage yet. Lightstone, I suppose, but they're trying. I mean, it's not the quickest. King R, he uses Shikuchi against the Weaver. He's just been doing it so well this game. And sets up that kill easily. Should Espada even be trying to defend this? It almost feels like a lost cause at this point. Okay, well, maybe not. King R goes down.
Yeah, the thing is, Espada needs this Roshan.
Okay, so it's more of that case. Drow is picked off, however, and so is Immersion. They do kill Bane in response. It just seems like the exchanges are favoring ferzee, though, right now.
Oh, Nyx God.
Nah, not for long. Try.
Sorry. It's reverse God.
Caster's Curse, as we call it, Demon. You'll get used to that over time. Compliment on a big play, only to have it be turned in your face. BZZ, nice time lapse. So he stays alive at least. But yeah, you look at the number here. Level 13 versus a level 7. That's, stay away, Weaver.
Yeah, I mean...
So,
Espada's in a
what
really
can
tough
Espada do here, Jimmy? Come on, you have experience using playing. What would you be doing in this case?
I mean, they're gonna have to bank and hope ferzee just overextends and makes his mistakes. But given the lineup that Espada has, they fully committed this all-in Drow draft, and the fact that they lost their laning stages, they're losing towards mid game as well. They're making like their comeback mechanics. I feel it's so difficult. The only way is just kind of 5-manning and hoping for like a good team fight. But I think this TA Centaur picks were just like their 3 cores from ferzee, they're just so hard for Espada to kill. Like, yeah, they can dish out all this damage, but you have Ghost Shroud, you have Refraction, then Centaur is just one of those beefy guys that you can't just burst down. So, I don't know. You just have to hope for some crazy overextension, some... Yeah. Like, as last game, ferzee got lazy. They stopped playing as a team. They just getting picked off all around the map, and...
Oh, that's a big hoof stop. Catches several, including the familiars. Now, only sets up the kill Nyx's profit so far. Nyx doing what he can to stay alive. Reaper Scythe, that ends his life, though. He's dead for 50 more seconds. BCC Shikuchi on through. They caught LTW, however, so that Drow is going to be dead for another 30 seconds. And BCC just goes the other way with this time lapse. So, yeah, hoping for some mistakes over extension, but they're just not getting that right now. ferzee is playing on point here. Early, at least, in game number 2. Down 1-0, you can clearly tell.
Definitely stepping it up, like the Sol chat here. Definitely stepping it up here. Like, in comparison to the last game, they're playing together. They're playing as a team. They have their advantage, and, you know, they're sticking together. They're not splitting. They see, like, in comparison to last game, someone would be farming bottom lane right now, and they would probably die because they're just completely alone. But instead, they're just playing around objectives, just playing around the team, just knowing Espada has a 5-man lineup, and all they're going to be doing is kind of be sticking together. You know, they're doing the same thing here on ferzees. And with their snowbally start, them being really high levels, like them winning the lane.
They hunted Weaver this whole time, too. I mean, it's amazing how they just seem to track him despite him constantly going invis that whole time, and the sentry was perfect. Yeah,
Radiant's
ferzee
top
really
tower
clicking,
is under attack.
as you're suggesting there.
Well, it seems like Fergie's the one with the one that's going to be pressuring the draw lineup here and going in for the 5-man push with this Aegis and Deso picked up now.
And this almost seems, yeah, when you're running this all-in, very all-in draw strategy, you needed the early lead. Now that you're behind, I know I was kind of asking you earlier, you're trying to do your best to give a take for Espada, but let's be honest. You're simply relying on ferzee to just, like we said, overextend, make big mistakes. Somewhat like they did in game number 2 throughout, but at this rate, it's not looking like that's going to happen. That's another kill on Nature's Prophet. There's the Deso, by the way, so you thought TA was already hitting hard.
Well, similar to like what I was mentioning about last game, it's like I felt Ferzee's lost it more than Espada kind of won it. Wait, yeah, Espada won it. Just because like in this game, it's just like they're actually winning it because like they should have won last game, but the thing is like they were just throwing and they were just kind of lazy. And I mean like you know, you got to give credit when it's due. Like Espada still played well in that aspect of like knowing like when to play together and so forth. And this game is just they're gonna lose all their tier 2s now with this Aegis. They're gonna continue pressuring this dead lane to Ven score here. He's probably just setting up some wards and maybe setting up for a potential kill with sleep and grip. Grip's damage.
Double damage.
Double damage on TA, so you know that she wants to find a kill, and you talk about bottom lane, Vansker is setting up BZZ. Little does he know. With no Fiend's Grip, though, as mentioned, 20-second cooldown.
He's taunting him. He really can't do anything.
Yeah, he's trying to make him go for him. Here we go, in fact. There's Shackles, so they are going for it. They might lose Fiend's Grip, but it's going to be worth it in the end, absolutely. For ferzee, they get both the supports nearby. At least BZZ escapes.
He knew that. Like, it was just, like, obvious. Like, what is he going to do to a Weaver? He slept. He's sleeping him, and it's just like right-clicking, and he pretending that Grip wasn't up at the time.
Totally gonna kill you, yeah.
And it's just like, but in reality, it's like, okay, this team's gonna react, and ferzee was just one step ahead. So it was actually really well played there by Vanskor. Baiting his team to bait his team. It was a counter bait.
The bait of the bait.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle
ferzee, 9,000 net worth lead. Bottom tier 1 even is up down here, but not for long again with that Deso especially. To cut through it. Visage is in recovery mode.
So one thing about where Espada might thrive off of is the high ground. Because their high ground defense is pretty decent for Espada. I mean, they can hold their own because, I mean, you're going to have TA kind of hitting. You have TA as the only real tower hitter. I guess if Centaur gets really buffed or beefy, then he can tank it with the return aura to do some damage. Here's a push here. Are they going to commit to this?
Well, they're thinking about it, but you see obviously the defense already coming out from the Radiant, and Crimson Guard finish on Centaur. Speaking of that, Nyx is caught, and something tells me he's not getting out of this.
That actually kills in one combo. I didn't know that. Centaur's Hoof and Double Edge actually kills the birds.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was actually pretty broken.
That's a good point, yeah. They happen to be right on top, which usually they would be in that case, of course.
I think it was with the Stampede, too. I'm not 100% sure, but I just saw the Double Edge and Hoof Stomp. Like, it was just Centaur alone who killed the birds. That's actually, I didn't know that. That's really interesting.
Fair amount of damage.
Yeah, you don't see Centaur versus Visage often. That's why, you know.
650 damage right there. And this also goes back, like I mentioned yesterday, Alliance banned Centaur all 3 games against ferzee. Now, this is a special circumstance, of course. We're dealing with this whole Drow strategy on the other side, but there's a reason why Alliance did that. You know, maybe something that teams are going to have to continue to take a look at against ferzee.
Sania is just one step ahead of the game, man.
Apparently.
I mean, look at him. He's qualifying for 2 lands now, a major and some.
Yep, they won the event yesterday, the We Play event.
And they won that event. They're winning back to back to back. Alliance is back.
Are they? They're back, yeah.
Bracket with the A.
It's fun to see. Again, I have a lot of history with those guys that they keep going back to. We're going to see them later on today against the open qualifier opponents.
Actually, my former teammates, I played with them for a little bit too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Quakeba, obviously, we go way back.
That's right,
Team
yeah.
Liquid days.
Very
the
cool.
bad Liquid days, you know.
Oh, well.
The dark days.
It happened. No, so yeah, you're excited as well. Yeah, that'll be a fun series again later on today. But this one here, I mean, definitely looking like we're at least going to a game 3. It is safe to say, unless Espada somehow pulls out a miracle. And he's currently playing for Team Liquid last time I checked. So, Wind Ranger just going to throw out the shackle shots, do what you can. At TA, Desolator included again, tier 3. It's melting. Aegis has been retaken though, so.
It's good. I mean, they're just forcing everyone back there, so just Drow can't do anything. Like I said,
Radiant
ferzee,
scanning.
what they have to really do to go high ground is they have to pick them off around their tier 3 or tier 2, and while the lane is pushing in to get these towers, because just hitting high ground is difficult, especially now the fact that they don't have an Aegis. The only real way is to... Oh, that was a 33% chance there by that.
Yep. They caught the real one, but he's invis. Now they'll see the time lapse. Now they know. 32% chance turns into 100%.
And so sometimes you just gotta guess. Gotta go for it, you know? And this every shot you don't take.
Could be worse.
Said Michael Scott, I believe, yes.
Said by Jimmy Ho, actually.
Better luck next time.
Ain't that the truth?
So
Classic.
yeah, this is I don't think they can high ground off Weaver. They're gonna take this last tier 2. They need to be able to kill like 1 or 2 heroes, like a Drow or what, Visage or something. But that's the best way for to go high ground. And yeah, good pickup by TA. Wow, he's actually
Radiant's
so
top
farmed here.
tower is
What's his
under
net worth
attack.
right now? 13,
Radiant
14k net worth on this
structures
TA.
are
MKB.
Yeah, he's gonna go for
Dire's
Sheep there.
bottom
Oh, he went for
tower is
MKB
under
because he
attack.
saw Solar Crest gonna be picked up by Visage, and Visage decides like, you know what? His MKB, screw this Solar Crest. I'm not gonna get it anymore.
Let's be honest. Well, bottom lane, all that thought, because Wind Ranger going to be lifted in. Weaver, he's going in. He's got an Arcane Rune as well, so, but look at King R, like we've seen several times this game. Takes that Shikuchi, says, this is mine now, and barely stays alive. That was a time lapse for me. He was almost expecting to get lifted, I suppose.
You
or
see
something.
that? This TA is like hitting this tower and he doesn't care. He got shackled, he got focus fired, and he was still able to blink out. And this Weaver was on him with bugs as well. He was able to blink out because they have no instant bursts for distraction.
But going back to the point, on top of that, again, lack of an initiator. Like, that to me is clearly one of the biggest oversights of Espada's lineup, I think.
I found it. I mean, their strategy is just this initiation is Furion TPing in, he's going to sprout someone into a shackle and to the lead up of, like, the bird drops. That's the game
Nothing
plan.
can go wrong, yes.
Oh, see you later, Misha.
Oh, I'm looking at bottom lane. BCC's running
Oh.
away, but... Okay. Top lane, Misha's dead. King R, this is a Shikuchi battle of the two. They're trying to find one another. Reaper Scythe is ready from Necrophos if he happens to catch up. Hey, Reaper's backside has a Lotus Orb, so...
Oh,
Ooh. He
no,
channeled
he
it.
wouldn't have died. He
No,
wouldn't have
it
died.
was just to stun him in place, I think, to finish him off, but...
Well, he had the Death Pills come in, but he needed level 18 or a Veil.
So BZZ is fine for now.
He sees it. It's funny, they're just having little... Is it cat and mouse? Mouse and cat?
Cat and mouse, yeah, I've heard that before. But the rest of the team, ferzee, try not to get too distracted by that. Maybe get this double damage rune over here would be nice, or maybe they will get distracted by it still. They eventually catch him, I mean...
King R God, that's not King
Yeah.
RD, that is ferzee King R Dash right there, baby.
King R Dash, I like it. Half an inch.
I thought that was a gem, but he has this well-played sentry there, actually.
Another kill. Templar Assassin.
I mean, at this game, it's just like, I actually really feel bad. It's just, I don't want to be a negative Nancy guy here, but it's just, I think this game is more demoralizing than just playing it out. Who knows, maybe they can prove me wrong and actually somehow win
Yeah.
this, but...
I've talked about that before. It's kind of an interesting insight to discuss that, yeah, sometimes there are games like this where enough is enough. Because you bring up, playing many competitive matches
Radiant are
yourself.
scanning.
Have you had those instances where you're like, we just need to leave because we're clearly getting tilted, we got another game?
This really comes down to how the team is really formed and how mentally, the mental fortitude that you really have as a team and as each individuals. And if some people already gave up mentally, it's just like, just call it GG because you're going to destroy them mentally even more and it's going to hurt them as the game progresses. But like, I guess some of the more experienced and professional teams, that you have a lineup that has like potential to win, then yeah, I guess like with this Drow lineup, if they win 1 or 2 team fights, they're able to snowball, they're going to be able to push their base like at ease. But I don't know, with their start that they have, I think this game is like, it's very difficult. I mean, they have a chance just because their lineup has some win conditions in it,
Yeah.
but for them to win it, it's going to be banking on ferzees to make the mistakes, overextend, throw, or some one way or another. And people tend to do that because they get lazy, they get overconfident, they just get cocky, and it does happen. With this lead, they have 20k gold lead. They know they have all the advantages. They're able to two-shot some of the heroes, and hey, like maybe they'll feel like diving a tier 4 and trying to two-shot someone, and it can go wrong. They can get this initiation with the Sprout and Shackle, or double Shackle shot by 2 heroes.
You're stuck on that, man. That's just still waiting for that combination to come into play, but it is possible. Yeah. All fair points there, Demon. I appreciate the...
right now, they have no heroes that can actually kill this Centaur as well.
Yeah.
Until they pick up... Who did he stop?
Trying to catch BGZ.
Yeah, until the Silver Edge is actually picked up, I feel, then they can't really kill this Centaur. He has too much HP, and he'll do more damage in return than what they'll do to him. That's what I feel. And that's the issue. And then with the neck, don't forget about, like, it's like a double Heartstopper aura in that sense, right? They have double aura. And it's just way too much damage. Damage over time. Oh,
Centaur going pretty deep right here, but he got the Wind Ranger. Easy kill. Easy buyback.
There. They need to do that. They need to just jump into them and just kill them. He's probably going to Stampede soon and look for a kill when his blink is up. Because they need to dive them to kill, because they can't just... I feel they cannot just hit this tower.
Drow cut the creep wave, so...
Yeah.
There's that, too.
He was ready. He was prepared, man. He was hiding actually around the secret shop area. I was like, you know, just gonna... I wasn't sure what he was doing, but I realized just waiting for a wave to cut when everyone shows.
Well, this is a game where Espada, if they somehow manage to pull off this crazy comeback, it's going to be a 60-plus minute game. I mean, they're committed to the absolute long game now at this point. It's also an interesting host stop right there for Centaur.
He missed his force step.
Yeah. Whoopsie. Nature's Prophet, though. They'll find him. Easy kill. Rubik. Shackle doesn't connect. The sleep also coming into play, trying to help out. The refraction on half an inch helping him, but he takes some good damage. Crimson Guard applied. You see the right clicks, though. If they're able to get their positioning, it does add up. Half an inch is caught. Remember, he has an agent.
There it is!
There's the combination as expected. Unfortunately, no follow-up. As pretty as it was. I love it. It made it seem like such a big deal, and it really wasn't.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Okay, let's see. Yeah. I think that mental fortitude is starting to kick in, as you were talking about earlier. It's just enough is enough.
Yeah. Just
move
felt
on.
awesome. It's just more about Centaur being like Centaur and TA being unkillable. It's like all 3 cores are unkillable. They can only really kill their supports, especially when there is 5-manning. They have Stampede to get out. They lack stuns. Stampede was just like pretty ownish this game. They lack stuns. The main stuns is what? Shackle Shot and
Familiar stuns.
But then Centaur just 2-shots it. So
the lineup was, again, this term we use, the all-in. It's I have a feeling if they're down 1-0, they don't do this lineup.
Yeah.
They're up 1-0 though, so they know they have that fallback.
Try to cheese for the win, man.
Yeah.
And you can see what I was mentioning is all 3 cores were unkillable. Yeah, Centaur has 2 deaths, but those were only in the first, 4 minutes into the game with that Fury on Drow lane. That's the only time he died. So, I mean, you can kind of say in hindsight he kind of died 0 times as the game, like, generally progressed.
Well, that means we got a game 3 at least.
Yeah.
That's always fun, man. I look forward to that one here for the GG.Bet Invitational. So, Espada, ferzee, going to game 3. It's an opening match no matter what happens. Both still in it, of course, but it's just a matter of that winner side or the lower side. Well, stay tuned. Looking forward to seeing how game 3 shapes up. Something tells me I'm not going to see that all-in Drow strat once again.